The defense offered you $100,000 to settle your case. What do you do in that instance? You want to know the answer? Come join me for a walk on this deserted island in St. Martin as I share with you the answer to that question. Hi, I'm Gerry Oginski. I'm a New York medical malpractice and personal injury attorney. In your instance, you turn around and say thank you, but no thank you. You want to know why? It's because your injuries are so much more significant. The value of your injuries are so much more. And you turn around and say, there's absolutely no way I'd settle this case for $100,000. So here's what you should know. In your particular instance, we felt that your injuries have a true value of $1 million. So I went ahead and made a demand of, let's say, $4 million. The defense asked what I need to settle this case. And I said $4 million. So now, this is the offer that they come back with after a few days. They called me up, they say, hey Gerry, I just want to let you know, we've conferenced this case. We determined that this case should be settled, and what do they say now? Well, we have an offer for you. Great, what's your offer? The offer is $100,000. And there's dead silence on the phone. I said, that's your offer? They said, yes, we believe that's a fair offer for this type of injury. And you know what I say? I say, I'm sorry, but that's not a fair offer. That's nuisance value. That's offensive. And why do I say that? Because you and I have already spoken. You and I have already talked about what is the real value of your injury. Now, you may have a sense in your mind that, hey, listen, my case is worth $10 million, $20 million. And you know what? You may actually believe that to be true. And during our conversation, I asked you, what gives you the idea that your case is worth $10 million or $20 million? And you know what they say? They say, hey, listen, because I heard that somebody with a similar injury to mine was able to get a verdict of $20 million. And I'm just smiling inside. And then I say, is there anything else that gives you the perception that your injuries are worth $10 or $20 million? And you know what they say? They say, yes, a friend of mine had a friend or a family member who went to court and they settled their case for $10 million. And again, I'm smiling inside. You want to know why I'm smiling inside? It's because I know that that information is inaccurate. I'm not saying that the information that was relayed to my client was inaccurate by this friend or this well-meaning family member. What I am saying, though, is that the perception that their case is worth as much as this other person, based upon information that they heard, that's where the problem comes in. That's where the miscommunication and the perception changes. What it should be is, every single case is different. A person who suffers a significant injury, let's say who's 25 years old, is going to be affected differently and much more harshly for the rest of their life compared to someone who is 90 years old and suffers the same type of injury. And the value of their cases, even though the injury is similar, is going to be markedly different. Why? Because it all depends upon how these injuries have affected you on a daily basis. So merely because you have heard about somebody in the news getting a great big verdict does not mean that that's what they walked away with. That does not mean that that's the true value of their injury. It simply means that a jury has determined that they are entitled to receive that amount. Whether an appellate court determines and agrees with them is an entirely different story. So now let's get back to the real essence of this video. What do you do next? Remember, we've had this conversation. We've determined what the value of your injury is worth. I know now exactly what it is that you will accept in order to settle this case. The defense makes an offer of $100,000. In my opinion, this is a pitiful offer, and I tell them that. If we can't reach an agreement and the defense fails to come up significantly with an offer that we can continue negotiating, we simply turn around and say, fine, we'll see you at trial. We will let a jury determine the true value of your injuries. And then you'll have to deal with the verdict, you'll have to deal with appeals, and then we'll go forward from there. So why do I share this quick information with you? I share it with you just to give you a beautiful view of where I am shooting video on this deserted island here on the French side of St. Martin, and to show you exactly what goes on in these medical malpractice cases, these accident cases, and even these wrongful death cases in New York. You know, I realize you likely have questions or concerns about your own matter. Well, if your matter did happen in New York and you are thinking about bringing a lawsuit, but haven't done so yet because you still have questions that need to be answered, what I invite you to do is pick up the phone and call me. You know I answer questions like yours every single day, and I'd love to talk to you. You can reach me at 516-487-8207 or by email at Gerry, Gerry, @oginski-law.com. That's it for today's video. I'm Gerry Oginski. Have a fantastic day.